Today, we see handlebars so high they practically kiss the sky, a riding posture that screams rebellion and an undeniably iconic look. Intrigued? Well, you should be, because today we're getting our hands high and diving deep into the world of ape hanger handlebars. What makes them so bewitching, and what's the real story behind these towering hand grips? Well, smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let's get elevated to find out. Let's crank the throttle back to the mid-20th century, a time of raw iron and individual expression, and the genesis of ape hanger handlebars. Emerging from the flourishing chopper scene, particularly in Southern California, these high-rise handlebars weren't initially about aesthetics alone. Early modifications often involved swapping or modifying existing parts, and raising the handlebars could provide a more comfortable riding position for some, especially on bikes with extended front forks. Think about the physics of a stretched out front end. Bringing the hands higher could alleviate some of the strain on the rider's back and shoulders. The materials used were often simple, steel tubing, bent and welded, reflecting the DIY ethos of the era. The early designs were fairly basic, with a focus on functionality rather than elaborate styling. The height wasn't standardized. It was often a matter of personal preference and what felt right for the rider and their machine. This organic evolution from necessity to style is a key element of the ape hanger story. Interestingly, the term ape hanger itself likely originated from the visual of the rider's arms hanging high, like an ape. Now let's pull into the basics of ape hanger design. There's a lot of geometry at play. The height, obviously, is the most defining feature, measured from the mounting point to the top of the grips. But equally important are the width, which affects leverage and handling, and the pullback, which dictates how far the grips come back towards the rider. Think about leverage. Wider bars offer more leverage for turning, but can also make the steering feel heavier, especially at lower speeds. Pullback is crucial for rider comfort, influencing the reach to the grips and preventing strain on the wrists and shoulders. The diameter of the tubing is another factor, impacting strength and the compatibility of controls and grips. Most ape hangers are made from steel, chosen for its strength and weldability, though you'll find some made from aluminum for weight savings at a potential cost to durability in certain situations. The wall thickness of the tubing also plays a role in the overall strength and stiffness of the bars. Understanding these dimensions is crucial for selecting ape hangers that not only look good, but also function safely and comfortably. Shifting our focus to the practical challenges, let's talk about wiring and cables. Slapping on a set of ape hangers isn't just a bolt-on affair. As the handlebars rise, so does the need for longer control cables, throttle, clutch, and brake lines, as well as extending wiring harnesses for the turn signals and hand controls. This often involves replacing existing cables and wires with longer versions, a task that requires careful measurement and installation to ensure smooth operation and prevent binding or stretching. Some riders opt for internally wired handlebars, routing the wiring through the inside of the tubing for a cleaner look. This requires drilling holes and carefully fishing the wires through, adding another layer of complexity to the installation. The gauge of the wiring is also important to consider, especially if you're running higher draw accessories. Incorrectly sized wiring can lead to electrical issues and even safety hazards. The routing of the cables is critical, ensuring they don't interfere with steering or suspension movement. Proper cable management is a key aspect of a professional and safe ape hanger installation. But what if the seemingly simple act of raising your handlebars held a key to unlocking entirely new riding experiences? What if the height wasn't just about style or visibility, but about fundamentally altering the way you interact with your machine and the road beneath you? Could this seemingly straightforward modification be a gateway to a deeper understanding of motorcycle dynamics? Stick around, because we're about to take this conversation to a whole new level. Now let's cruise into the cultural landscape and the indelible mark ape hangers have left on popular culture. Think of iconic films where choppers with towering bars took center stage, becoming symbols of freedom, rebellion, and the open road. These visual representations cemented the ape hanger status as a defining feature of the chopper aesthetic. Beyond film, ape hangers have permeated music videos, album art, and fashion, becoming instantly recognizable and associated with a particular attitude and lifestyle. The silhouette of a motorcycle with high-rise bars is a powerful visual shorthand, evoking images of individuality and nonconformity. Even outside of motorcycling circles, the ape hanger has become a recognizable symbol, often used to represent a sense of rugged independence. This cultural resonance has undoubtedly contributed to the enduring appeal of ape hanger handlebars. But here's a curveball. While we often associate ape hangers with a purely rebellious spirit and a certain outlaw image, their evolution has a surprising practical thread woven through it. Consider the historical context. Early motorcycle messengers and even some police motorcycles utilized higher handlebars for improved visibility in dense urban environments. The elevated riding position provided a better vantage point over traffic. This functional aspect, while perhaps overshadowed by the later stylistic interpretations, was nonetheless a part of their early development. So while the rebellious image is certainly potent, the initial designs weren't solely about making a statement. There was a degree of practicality influencing their form. Now it's time to get practical and talk about choosing the right ape hanger height for you. This isn't just about picking the tallest ones you can find. Comfort and control are paramount. A common guideline is that your hand should be at or slightly below shoulder level when seated on the bike. This allows for good blood circulation and prevents fatigue on longer rides. Bars that are too high can lead to numbness in the hands and arms, as well as discomfort in the neck and shoulders. Consider your riding style and the type of riding you do. For long highway cruises, a moderate height might be more comfortable. For shorter around town rides, you might be able to get away with taller bars. Your physical build also plays a role. Taller riders might find taller bars more comfortable, while shorter riders might prefer something lower. It's always best to try out different heights if possible before making a final decision. Many riders mock up different heights using pipes or other stand-ins to get a feel for how they will look and feel. Now let's address the elephant in the room. How do ape hangers affect handling? The higher center of gravity created by having your hands higher can change the bike's lean angle and the effort required for turning, especially at lower speeds. Think about slow speed maneuvers like parking lot turns. Taller handlebars can require more counter-steering input. However, at higher speeds, some riders find that the wider stance and increased leverage can actually provide more stability. The overall effect on handling also depends on other factors, such as the bike's frame geometry, suspension setup, and tire choice. It's a system where everything interacts. Riding with ape hangers requires a slightly different riding technique, often involving more upper body input. It's a matter of adapting and getting used to the feel of the bike with modified handlebars. Proper adjustment of the controls and mirrors is also crucial for maintaining good visibility and control. So the million-dollar question, are ape hangers worth it? Well, let's weigh the pros and cons. On the plus side, they offer a distinctive and iconic look that's hard to beat. For many, they represent a certain style and attitude. Some riders find them comfortable for certain types of riding, particularly on bikes with extended front ends. They can also provide a unique riding experience. However, there are downsides. Installation can be more involved and expensive due to the need for extended cables and wiring. Handling can also be affected, particularly at lower speeds. And depending on the height, they may not be legal in all locations. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to run ape hangers is a personal one. It depends on your individual style, riding preferences, and the type of bike you own. Consider the trade-offs and make an informed decision based on your own needs and priorities. The story of ape hangers isn't stuck in the past, they continue to evolve. We're seeing new designs and variations incorporating different bends, angles, and finishes. Think about the integration of technology with options for internal wiring and even heated grips becoming more common. The materials are also evolving, with advancements in steel alloys and manufacturing techniques leading to stronger and lighter bars. The aesthetic is also diversifying, with ape hangers appearing on a wider range of custom builds, not just traditional choppers. This ongoing evolution reflects the enduring appeal and adaptability of this iconic handlebar style. The future of ape hangers will likely see even more innovation and personalization as riders continue to push the boundaries of style and function. One thing I bet you didn't know is that the legal height limit for handlebars varies by state and country. It's always a good idea to check your local regulations before installing ape hangers to avoid any issues with law enforcement. So whether you're drawn to the classic look, the unique riding feel, or simply the desire to stand out from the crowd, remember that choosing and riding with ape hangers is a blend of personal expression and technical considerations. So there you have it, a high-flying journey into the world of ape hanger handlebars, complete with the nuts and bolts, the history, and the cultural vibes. The simple act of raising your handlebars is anything but simple, touching on ergonomics, engineering, and self-expression. Which aspect of the ape hanger story resonates most with you? Let your opinion soar in the comments section below. If this deep dive into elevated hand grips revved your engine, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more explorations into motorcycle culture and mechanics, and share this with your fellow riders who appreciate a good set of high handlebars. Keep the shiny side up and keep reaching for the sky, and hey, don't forget to check out our other videos. Your next source of inspiration might just be a click away. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.